You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Another young Kiwi footballer has signed a deal with a top European club following Phoenix goalkeeper Alex Paulson's move to Premier League side Bournemouth last month. Standout midfielder Ben Old has signed for top-flight French club Saint Etienne on a 5-year deal.
Old in the middle, Cryer arriving, Barbarouses. Oh, there it is! Ben Old! It illustrates the point perfectly.
Yeah, what a season he had, which turned heads all over the place, including those at Saint Etienne, obviously. Ben Old is with us out of France. Massive congratulations, Ben, on this significant move in your football career. Can you give us the background? How did this all come about?
Yeah, so happened quite a long time ago, actually. It was just after we finished our semi-final game, second semi-final game, which we got knocked out. My agent called me, and to be honest, he was quite astonished at who messaged him. Like, we'd had a bit of interest before that, and there wasn't really anything clicking for me. And at that time, I was thinking maybe it might be another season for me at the Phoenix. I was never in a rush to leave, and then when we got interest from them and I was able to speak to them for the first time, I was instantly hooked. Like, their detail and the project that they're leading through. Obviously, at that time, they hadn't even gotten to Ligue, but even at this time, I would have still signed for them even if they stayed in League Two, because I know the project, I know the history and the fans and everything about this club I love. So I'm really happy to be a Saint Etienne player now. It wasn't the easiest thing to go through, but I'm so glad it's all been sorted out now.
Has this happened a bit quicker than you thought it might, the move overseas, I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Like, probably 12 months ago, I was coming off the back of my injury and just signed a 3-year deal with the Phoenix alongside Alex. So I think if I had the confidence or like I knew that I was going to be able to leave that season, I would have just let my contract run down. But I was in no rush to leave whatsoever, because I knew there was so much more I could develop at the Phoenix and I had to prove myself. But not only from myself personally, but from the team's perspective, we created history. So I think it was a great time, not only for me, but for a lot of the other players, because not only we all had such great seasons, but the team had such a great season, and that obviously got the attention of a lot of clubs, which hence is why there's so many teams coming for our players. So I definitely didn't expect it, to answer your question, but also I think it's a great time for me to move, and I think it's a good. I've learned as much as I can in the A-League, and I think I'm ready for that next step.
Tell us about the Saint Etienne club, your dealings with them, putting this deal together. What have they been like to deal with?
Yeah, they've been amazing. I think the biggest worry that I had, which I think a lot of people, and it's probably a question you'll ask, it will be the language barrier. I always thought that might be a problem, but coming here, they all speak very, very good English. They all seem to have learned it at school, so they've all been so welcoming, and even though they might struggle at times, they're so open and wanting to learn to speak English with me, and they've just been so easy through this whole process. Like I said, it's not been the easiest in terms of getting all the stuff done with the medical, because there's so much stuff to get done, especially over here, but they've been amazing. They've put me up in hotels and been perfect for me, and now that it's all been sorted, it's been amazing. Definitely making it a much easier process for me.
And you were welcomed to the club through their social media team with this amazing welcome video, which featured an artist painting a picture of you. How cool was that?
Yeah, I know. It's very cool. Like, obviously we see it a lot with a lot of signings over in Europe, but you never really expect it to be done for yourself. And they briefly mentioned it to me before going over, that they're wanting to do something special, but I had no idea what it was going to be. And I just turned up because they said, oh, we're going to do some media stuff. And I turned up and walked around the corner and I saw the painting. So it was just as much of a surprise for me as it was for you guys when it got released. And it was such an amazing experience for me. And I think it just adds on top of how great the experience has been for me since coming here.
Yeah, so cool. So have you started training with the club yet? Have you met your teammates?
Unfortunately not. I've just finished, like I said, all the medical work, and I had my first official day here, but I picked up a bit of an ankle problem at the Nations Cup. Nothing serious at all, but they picked it up during the medical work, and they really want me to be able to go to the Olympics, so they're not wanting me to risk anything. And I think that's another testament to them, is that they could quite easily be like, oh, we prefer you not to go to the Olympics, or just want me to train and just be like, suck it up. But they're doing exactly what is best for me. And even though it might not be the best for them, they know this is such an important thing for me to go to the Olympics, and this on my side completely with that. So they've been amazing, and hopefully I'll be able to train with them within the next couple of days or so.
Good stuff. So what's your gut feel, Ben, on game time for the first team? You're not going to go out on loan or anything. You're going to be training with the first team squad, pushing for minutes. What's your gut feel on how quickly you'll be able to stake your claim for some minutes?
Yes, it's a hard question to answer, because I would never want to say I'm going to be playing or not playing. But I think one of the biggest things for me was when picking a club was that it was going to be a place where I could develop, but most importantly, be playing, because I've missed a lot of game time over the last year and a half because of my injury, and I don't want to go back into that cycle. And I think for my development right now, I need to be able to play. So even though I can't guarantee anything, and I wouldn't expect to, especially be starting in a league on side, I think from the talks that I've had with them, I've got that opportunity to be able to start for them. And I think if I prove myself, which I think I can, I've got a great chance to be able to be playing a lot in Ligue. But again, there's a lot of games in these seasons, including the Cup, so I'm not expecting to just go out and play every single minute. But I think there's definitely a lot of opportunity to get a lot of game time in this first season.
You talked a bit about your time at the Phoenix before the latter part of it, but you were there for a long time, Ben, from your academy days, playing out at Fraser Park for the reserve team, and then an A-League debut during the COVID period, and then obviously an integral part of the side in the season that's just finished. How do you reflect on your time with Wellington Phoenix, the whole time there?
Yeah. As a whole, it's been amazing. I think I mentioned it in my release that there's been ups and downs, which it's been like that for any player. And I think without those downs, I don't think I would have been the player that I have been. But since going through the academy and through my 3 years as a professional, it's all been so amazing. I've learned so much from everyone that's come and gone. So I've got nothing to complain about it at all. Like I said, I had the injury, which put me out for a long time, but I learned so much during that. And I would easily say that I don't think I'd be where I am today without the injury, because I think I've learned so much and developed as a player from that. So there's been a lot of ups and downs, but I don't think I'd change anything in those 6 years. So I've really enjoyed my time with the academy and the first team, and definitely going to miss it.
And you mentioned the Olympics there. You're off to the Olympics shortly. You don't have to go very far, do you? They're in Paris, of course. You're already in France. But how exciting a prospect is wearing that silver fern at an Olympic Games for New Zealand?
Yeah, it's funny because we're contemplating whether I even train down there. It's that close. But no, it's such an amazing opportunity for myself and a lot of players. Like there's so many Phoenix players involved in this Olympic side, which is amazing. But I was obviously involved with the previous Olympics in Tokyo, but I wasn't able to play. So I can't wait to get into this group and hopefully be able to get a good amount of game time. And we created history last Olympics, and I think we can do even better this time. I know we've got a very difficult pool, but I think with the team that we've got and the chemistry we have, we could do very well. So I can't wait to be able to represent the Fern again and be able to play against some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, can't wait. And just to finish, you mentioned it slightly before that you can communicate in English with most of your teammates and the others there, but you are living in France, so get the feeling you'll be speaking some French. Did you take it at school? Have you got any kind of rudimentary background in the French language to fall back on?
No, I literally from square one. So everyone's wanting to make bets with me about how long it's going to take for me to become fluent. I made a little side bet with the one of the owners actually here, because he's learning it as well. So I've said within 6 months that I'll be hopefully fluent. So that I've put it out there now. So hopefully I'll be able to be fluent pretty quickly. I think being immersed with it all is going to help me, but it's definitely something that's tough, and it's hard to talk to a lot of people. But like I said, they're very open to speaking English, and I think it'll be quite rewarding once I learn French to be able to talk to them all properly.
Absolutely. Well, it's terrific news for you, Ben. Well earned. An amazing A-League season you had, and you've earned this move, and yeah, we just can't wait to see how you go at Saint Etienne and of course at the Olympics, which are rushing up pretty fast. Really appreciate you taking the time for a chat. Thanks, and all the very best, mate.
Thank you very much.
It's Ben Old, former Phoenix player, now a Saint Etienne player. Just can't wait to see how he goes. I've got the chance to watch Ben Old for pretty much his entire Phoenix career through the academy and then into the first team, and he always just seemed like he had something special about him. This isn't a surprise, I'm sure, to anybody who has watched Ben Old play. Text through, what an impressive young guy he is. Very impressive off the field as well. You can hear him chat there. He's only, 21, I think he is. So, he speaks, with such maturity and just the way he plays. If he's a name to look out for, Ben Old. Alan says, Piney, can you help me? Is Božidar Krajev still a Phoenix player, or has he moved? Alan, they haven't quite come to a conclusion on that one yet. Božidar Krajev is the only player, actually, who is not from last season's squad, either confirmed as staying or going. I think they really want him to stay. They're very, very keen on getting Božidar Krajev to extend his contract. It's just whether they can afford it or not. So, yeah, watch this space is all I can tell you on that.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.